All right, good morning. My name is Sergeant Dixon, and today I will give you a class over determining a magnetic azimuth using an exotic compass. The classification of this video is unclassified. The task at hand, as I mentioned, is determining a magnetic azimuth using an exotic compass. Conditions: you are a member of a squad in a field environment and you're being directed to determine an azimuth. You have a compass and a designated point on the ground. Some of these iterations are done in map level 4, but since we don't have that equipment today, it will not be done. Standard: inspect the compass and determine the magnetic azimuth and be within 3 degrees using the compass to cheat method and be within 10 degrees using the center hole method. At any point during my class, you have any questions or you need a reference, you will refer to the skill level 1 book, pages 3-79. The overall risk assessment for this class is low. Although the risk assessment is low, some hazards to be mindful of will be heat exhaustion due to dehydration, wildlife, and traffic. To mitigate these, you should have been hydrating 2 days prior, as well as have a water source present and make sure it's full. To mitigate wildlife, we stay away from it. At any point during the class, that you see any wildlife, inform me, and we will move the training to another location. To mitigate traffic, we move the training area over to this covered area. At any point that we move over into the traffic, road guards will be posted and we continue training. It is the duty and responsibility of all DoD personnel to preserve their environment and leave it as it was. That's why we will be conducting a police call after the class. This training product has been reviewed by the training developers in coordination with G2, Fort Benning, Georgia, 31905, Foreign Disclosure Officer. This training product can be used to instruct international military students from all approved countries without restrictions. Immediately following this training, you will be evaluated. In order to receive an overall goal for this task, you must receive a goal in each performance measure. You will be evaluated individually. I will demonstrate the task at full speed, followed by a step-by-step explanation. After that, you will have time to practice before you begin your evaluation. I will now start my demonstration. This now concludes my demonstration. So as you saw me, the first step is looking at your azimuth. Looking at the compass itself. Make sure that the compass doesn't have any deficiencies. You're trying to see the floating dial move once you open the compass. Make sure that your lens isn't cracked. This will interfere with accuracy, and you will not be able to read your compass. When doing the compass, the cheek method, you ensure there are no metal objects nearby. It's recommended that if you're around any steel helmets or weapons, to be half a meter away. The compass cheek method is the best used for sighting. This method is usually the most time consuming though. So use it at your own will. You also have to remove your eye pearl in order to read the azimuth. When performing the compass sheet method, you must open the compass to 90-degree angle. And move the eyepiece at a 45-degree angle. Place your thumb through the loop while also placing your index finger along the base of the compass. You would take your free hand and cover the hand holding the compass. As I mentioned before, you should remove all eyewear while performing the compass sheet method. You would then move both hands until the thumb is touching the cheekbone. We move the eyepiece up and down. Make sure you can see the azimuth correctly and make sure it's not blurry. You will align the azimuth with your designated item in the distance and read your azimuth. Right now I'm reading about 250. If you have a weapon, you have to remove the weapon and be about half a meter away from the weapon using the center hole method, cheek to compass method. Moving on to the center hole method. Some advantages of the center hole method: it's faster to use. It also can be used on any terrain. You also don't have to remove your rifle. You can just sling it on your back. You also do not have to remove any eyewear. When performing the center hole method, you open the compass until it's fully straight. And you also move the eyepiece back as far as it can. As you did with the compass to cheek method, you will place your thumb to the loop and align your finger, your index finger, with the base of the compass. You secure the remaining fingers and firmly place your elbows to the side. Placing your elbows firmly to the side ensures that the compass is above your belt and below your chin. You turn your entire body towards the designated point. Once you align your body with the designated point, you read your azimuth. Right now I'm reading about 250. Do I have any questions at this time? If not, I will be giving you time to practice the task. While you practice, I will walk around and ensure that you're performing the task correctly and to standard.
Sorry, my dial's not moving. Connecting to the compass.
In order for the dial to move, you must push back the eyepiece. Did the dial move?
The dial's moving, Sergeant.
Make sure you place your thumb. Also remove your eye probe. This will give you the most accurate reading. What did you read? What azimuth did you get with the compass to cheat method?
I read 250 degrees, Sergeant. Like this?
Yes. Make sure your elbows are firmly to the side of your body. As I mentioned, this is to place the compass above the belt and below the chin.
I'm reading 250 degrees, Sergeant.
Good. If you're done practicing, we will now move on to the assessment. So as I mentioned, your task, once again, is to determine a magnetic azimuth using a lysatic compass. The conditions: you are a member of a squad in a field environment and you're being directed to determine a magnetic azimuth. You have a compass and a designated point on the ground. Some iterations of this class can be done in Mach 4, but since we don't have the required equipment, we will not be doing this effect. Standard: inspect the compass, determine the correct magnetic azimuth using the compass cheat method and being within 3 degrees, and using the center hole method being within 10 degrees. Your performance measures are: inspect the compass, determine the direction, determine the azimuth using the compass to cheat method, and determine the azimuth using the center hole method. If you're not prevent, start your evaluation.
I read 250 degrees, Sergeant. I read 253 degrees, Sergeant.
Are you done with your evaluation?
Yes, Sergeant.
You executed each performance measure correctly. You are now trained. All soldiers are trained. If I had any that were untrained and failed, they will report tomorrow at Sullivan Memorial Blood Donor Center at 1300 in the same uniform, in the same location. I will now make sure that I have each evaluation and all the compasses. Make sure all equipment is accounted for. All Time for an AAR. So what was supposed to happen? Today I was supposed to give a class over determining a magnetic azimuth using a lensatic compass. What did happen?
I determined the magnetic azimuth using a lensatic compass.
Can I get 3 sustainments?
The instructor, the time of day, and the weather.
Can I get 3 improvements?
The wind, the civilians, and background noise.
So to summarize, what was supposed to happen today was I was supposed to give a class over determining a magnetic azimuth using a lensatic compass. What did happen? The soldiers were trained on how to determine a magnetic azimuth using a lensatic compass. Some of the sustainments were time of day, instructor, and weather. Some of the improvements were the wind, civilians, and background noise. We didn't have any problems with our risk assessment. Some of the hazards were heat exhaustion due to dehydration, wildlife, and traffic. These risks were mitigated by hydrating prior to the class and during the class, having the water source present. We stayed away from wildlife, and we stayed under the shaded area away from traffic. I will now close out the training area. Could you help me with this, soldier? After closing out the training area, we got police call, ensuring that we left the environment how it was before we started training. At ease. So after conducting the police call, you're now dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Sergeant Nichols. T stands for trained. P stands for practice. U stands for untrained.